We're going to drop into this moment. Thank you for being here. And remember, this is our massive, massive work that we're doing to clear these huge embedded imprints and codes of pain, hardship, and despair. And we've all got them. No one's exempt. If we've been born into a family line, which we have a genetic imprint. So when we look back at our family line and we look at the old photographs, we can see little semblances of ourselves. And we can see, or we can notice that we talk in a similar way and we belong, because there is a visual, a genetic imprint that says we belong to this group. But remember that we also have an energetic imprint, and that energetic imprint is felt by us. It's known to us through our sensory being, and that's a hard one for us to deal with. We can sometimes cover up the things that we don't love about those little links that have come through the genetic pool. We can disguise them and cover them up, but the energetic imprints, we can't hide them away, and we cannot cover them up. And as much as we spend our energy in trying to defend, deflect, deny, distract, destroy, and push it away, all that energy that we're using to not face this thing, this sense, this feeling, that is still awakening in us. So please remember that we all hold these, and they nudge, nudge, and tap, tap upon our consciousness, our awareness, not because there is a reason for us to be in pain or suffering or to remember suffering. It's so that we can be the healers of this. So it's a hard concept that to understand, because we have gone so far away from who we are and the awareness that we're here to heal our family lines. Every single one of us is here to help and to heal all the pain and all the distortions and all the clutter that is being created through the pathway towards our higher consciousness. All that debris that has been accumulating behind us, it is a little bit like a comet. In fact, that's the picture that was shown to me to describe and to explain this to me. So just a massive download of information, and this was the picture, that this beautiful comet, and we know it because we see it careening across the sky, and we see this beautiful trail, this beautiful tail behind it, and we think, oh my gosh, how gorgeous that is. Well, yes, it is. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? But the part that is moving forward is pulling along behind it the accumulation and the history of everywhere it's been, everything it's connected or collided into. And because it's moving forward, as are we are creating an electromagnetic field. So everything that is in our pathway, we draw into the pathway that now sits behind us. So the longer we have been pulling this along, that's how long the trail is. And the other image that comes in is when we see these beautiful birds flying in formation, and we notice how they do that sort of V shape, and there is the one in the front, and it's just breaking the wind, it's just breaking the resistance of the wind, and the others are so perfectly positioned, as cyclists do as well, to be in the stream that is not so hard for them. That little trail that is behind, the one that's in front cannot stay there the entire flight because it's too much hard work. So that one drops away a little bit, comes towards the back, and the next one goes and takes the full thrust of having to push through this space with no help with that resistance. It's a little bit like that. So here we are, generation after generation, asking somebody, the new fresh lot coming in, to take upon them these great burdens, this trail of the clutter and debris and hardship, and to bring healing to it. But somewhere along the line we have forgotten that that is what we are supposed to do. And somewhere along the line, the distortion of the awareness of suffering and survival has become so embedded in our psyche that all we can think about is that's what we're here to do, suffer and try to find a way to survive. And survival is hard, and you have to endure, and you have to suffer a lot to know that your life is worthwhile and that you're worthwhile. That was a system, it was a code that was planted into our awareness because it was a truth way back when we were here and it was difficult, and people had to find a way to survive. And the idea that they would survive so that the next generation could come in, that was the main thought procedure in that. That each of us would pull as hard as we could, manage as much as we could, then relinquish it and hand it on to the next one who would do the same pitiful misery and pull it along and pull it along and pull it along. It's so exhausting. We've got to find another way. And we've got to come back to what it truly is. What we've come through are imprints and implants, massive connections to awareness. Everything that we felt and everything that was felt by our ancestors was a warning, a little imprint or a code that said, oh my gosh, when the sky looks dark and gloomy like this, immediately become terrified. Immediately become cautious. We were signaled to hide away, to run away, to defend or protect ourselves. And it would only take a nuance for us to quickly activate that and to come through and find another way to be. So those emergency signals have now become urgent signals in us. Even though there's no more emergency, the urgency inside of those signals is now connecting into our awareness. You will know that you are carrying an imprint, a code of hardship, if you are suddenly aware of a sense that is in you that makes no sense. Something triggers you and you feel so reactive, so disruptive, so upset. And the people around you will say, oh no, it's not like that. Please don't make such a big thing of it. It's not so bad. And why must you always be so dramatic? Calm down. They will give us all those kind of awarenesses that this is not so bad. But if it is a trigger signal, an urgency energy signal in us, I don't care who tells us to calm down and to relax and it's not so bad. It feels very, very bad. It feels terrifying, foreboding, and threatening on every single level. And our entire reactive system, our adrenal system, starts to try and find ways to protect us, defend us. And all this energy goes towards that, finding a way to protect us. Let us recode that as we go through these now. We release these imprints through the energy field because that's where they sit. And if we can start to release the imprint and the sense of urgency in these signals, we can start to use our energy in a different way. So many people are saying that they are exhausted. They feel as if they're dragging themselves through this life journey. We've given ourselves all these fabulous labels of fibromyalgia and ME, myalgia and encephalitis, or whatever these stories are, or chronic fatigue, and we give ourselves all these wonderful things. But all of that, we're not sick, we're not broken, we're just signaling. We're signaling so much, and we're using all our energy that it's impacting upon this being, this human being. These knock-knocks, these impacts upon us are the knock-knocks upon the door of our awareness that are trying to awaken us. So let's do it. We go, but how? We've always wondered, how will we do this? How will we manage? And we've always gone to the head. Let's work it out in the head. Let's make sense of it. You cannot make sense of a feeling that is so alarming in your system that you cannot even begin to understand it yourself. How can you make sense of that? We've only got, the root is the only root that we have is to clear it energetically, because it's an energetic imprint. And that's what we're doing. That's why we're here, and that's the gift that we get to bring in as the healers for our line. I want you just to recap that so that we do get the sense of the purposefulness of what we're doing. It's not just a random gathering once a week so we can all feel a little bit better. You will feel a lot better. That the gift that you give is to break a cycle of suffering and survival that has trapped us in all these terrible emotions, hardships. That, my treasures, is the switch to our leap towards our higher awareness, higher consciousness as humanity. That's the switch. And if we can see that, if we can start to understand it, that if we're not playing in this game of survival all the time, then we're not activating the energy of suffering and hardship, enduring, then we have an opportunity to turn our dial and change the station that we're playing in and turn it into a higher frequency, one that says we're ready to thrive. We are encoded with this magnificence, and it is right here, and it is in us. It is part of our unique blueprint. It's all here, it's all available. It's just this little mindset that says we must struggle, we must have hardship, we must suffer, and we must try and survive. Drop that game, drop that idea, find every possible moment from this moment forward for the rest of your life to check where you are. Are you playing in survival, or are you playing in thriving? And the more of us who steer our energy towards thriving, we will change the trajectory of our human pathway. More and more are coming into this, and this is the gift that we've got. So isn't that wonderful? It's a great story, especially when we're hearing how awful life is. But it's only awful because everyone's still playing in survival. Look at the energy around the world, look at the news, you see it there. You cannot miss it. It's everywhere around us. So stay clear, stay connected, stay in your energy, and hold the space now, my treasures, as we go forward and we continue to clear now in cluster 8. Lovely, love. We're going to bring in our bell. We're going to drop in, we're going to breathe, and then we're going to drop into that beautiful space of healing. Make sure you're comfortable and make sure you stay hydrated. Here comes our bell. Take a deep breath in. Long, slow out breath. Drop your shoulders. Relax the skin on your beautiful face. Feel balanced on the left and the right side of your body. And connect into this earth, anchor and hold yourself here. And just for a little while, let go of all the holding and the doing and the pursuing. Let yourself come into this space without your personality, your stories, your roles, your behaviors. And see yourself as a beautiful form that is divinely informed. A beautiful being that holds a blueprint, a code, and a being that is a healer. And truly own that energy, especially the energy that says, I am a healer. You are perfectly qualified to be that because you stand where you are. And you are connected to your line. And there is nobody on this earth, and ever has been or ever will be, that can stand in the precise and exact place where you stand, with all that you know that has been given to you, imprinted upon your awareness. You stand in the perfect place in all time for something to come through you. And for those of us who really and truly understand this energy of depression, when we go right down to the very base of it, and we come to the idea of our purposeful self, what is the point of being here? Especially when we see so much sadness around us. The energy becomes depressed. And then we say, I have. Don't be claiming that. Don't be claiming anything that has a label, an identity, an attachment to it. You might want to say, I am feeling that. But do not claim any label. You are beyond a label. You are not a condition, and you are not a problem. You are a highly aware, sensitive being. You are here withholding inside of your being so much information that those who are highly sensitive find it hard to assimilate so much information. It is overwhelming. Allow yourself in this moment to feel anchored and connected to where you are, where you're standing, where you're sitting, lying down or resting. Feel the connection to the earth and become aware that you have not been gobbled up. And drop a little bit more of your weight and all that you're holding into the arms of gravity and just rest there. Become assured in your being that nothing has shifted. And then feel your breath moving in and through you, this beautiful breath of life. Become aware that it is a stream of energy and you're welcoming that stream into you. And that stream is outside and all around you. It's in the collective field. We say I'm breathing in air, but there is so much more. There's prana, life force, energy in this. Breathe it in. Make an agreement that you are part of it. And that you can give this to you. Give yourself as much as you wish. Breathe in deeply, amply, fully. Open your whole body, your ribs, your tummy, your throat, and receive, receive, and receive as much as you desire. And each time you breathe out, become aware that you are releasing everything that no longer serves you into the space that is here. And all the while you are right there in the space that you are holding and you are being held. And when we stop thinking about this breathing, your breath will go back to being in and out in the flow of life. And notice that you are being breathed. And your systems, all the organs, everything's functioning. No one has fallen off their perch yet. We're all okay. We're still here. Everything is functioning. Everything is working. Trust it. Trust you. And just be here. And your heart is beating. There is nothing you must do to make that heart beat. Become so assured in the strength, the stability, and the loving nurturing of this body that gives you the possibility to be aware of yourself in a moment in time. How incredible is that? Mark this moment well as a moment in time, as if you could see the entire line of your entire ancestry, going back through all time. And here is the point that you stand upon that timeline. Mark it well. See you here. Everything that has been is also known to you. It's in your awareness. And then there is a part of us that longs for something that is filled with light and love and compassion and kindness. And think about where that is in you. We might say it's our mind that wants things to feel better, but the mind does not feel, it thinks. What is the feeling part of you that connects you to that desire, that longing, that calling? And notice that calling from the very center of your being, from deep within your soul, it calls for that which is the exact opposite of the pain and the hardship, the horrors and the sadness. It calls for peace and love and grace and kindness, collaboration, cooperation, compassion. In the worst of times, our ancestors called for mercy and love and sympathy. How did we know what to call for? If it is not already encoded within us, we would have no idea of that other feeling that is also there. In the times when you have felt the heartbreak of feeling alone and lost, so terribly sad, when your energy has been so depressed, pushed down, what is your heart longed for? What is your soul yearned for? You didn't just lie there and give up because you're still here. You are proof that you want to move on. So you are holding a code, a deep, deep blueprint and embedded awareness in you that is the antidote to all the misery that we see around us, to all the pain. A part of it is calling it in. And we begin to hear, we begin to feel, and we begin to connect to this beautiful space, this body, mind, and soul through our heart. So here I am, standing on my timeline. Then hold the awareness of that immense feeling of depression. And as you hold it, become aware of what it feels like in you. Just for a moment. If they're thoughts or pictures or words, sensations, just hold them in your awareness just for a moment. You know how to recall this through your sensory memory system. Now in the same moment, awaken that exact sensory system to what it is that you truly desire. You are desiring something because you are still here. You know that there is something else for you. What would that feel like in you? Picture it, imagine it. Connect with it in whatever way you can. This exact opposite of what it is that I so deeply and truthfully know. What would that look like? And what would it feel like in me and in my life and in my mind, my body and my soul? And start to conjure up those images and feelings, sounds and sensations. Ask your whole sensory being to start to connect into it. Mind, body and soul. What would it look like? What would it feel like? What would it taste like? Smell like? How would it sound? Engage your 5 senses in the energy of delighting. And there is your other key. To unlock all the pain that we're in, we want to embrace our 5 senses in a new way. engage them in the game of thriving, not the game of survival. Think about how we use the five senses. We're constantly vigilant, looking out for something that might be of harm to us, or something that we must run away from or be terrified of. That vigilance, that constant attention to survival through the five senses. No wonder the brain can't come up with any new ideas, because all it's doing is just looking, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking about what it is that it must be terrified of. Take a breath and start to re-engage your five senses. When you are waking up in the morning, before you even open your eyes, start the game then. Lie there with your eyes closed and listen with your ears to the first sound that absolutely fills your heart with love and embracing and calmness or peace or excitement. Keep listening until your ears know what it is that you want them to tune into. That is to a higher frequency that will delight you. And keep listening until you found one thing, and then listen to it. And bring all your focus towards it. And then find another that you can hear. Starting with the hearing is the best way to do this, because with our eyes closed and not activating the other senses, we can truly engage in one sense at a time. And then through the day, find ways that you can engage your other senses. What are you seeing, tasting, touching, smelling that is delighting you? We cannot be depressed and delighted at the same time. It's not possible for us. We cannot breathe in and breathe out at the same time. It's not possible. We change our focus and we restore the balance in our being. What a wonderful way to recode our system with the system that has embedded the codes within us. Get it? Got it. Take a deep breath in, my treasures. Just feel the energy of that. Embrace it into your being. Thank your being for knowing so much, so that you now can step into the profound and expansive awareness of what it is that you know, to bring in profound and expansive healing towards that point of pain. So whatever that is for you, whatever you know ignites you in the sense of feeling heaviness within your being. Pick any one of these. They will link you right back through this ancestral line. And we imagine it like a fiber optic cord that we're simply putting on a light here, and it begins rapidly, instantaneously to light up the pathway towards where it was first imprinted. Imagine that. That is your energy synaptic cord. Just like the brain holds these beautiful synaptic connections so that we can think and process energetically, this is how we do it. Hold that awareness of what it is for you. And let's bring in our healing capacity now to bring profound healing to this. Take a deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, drop your shoulders, relax into this moment. Then take your hands and just begin to activate them, rub them together. Begin to flick them, squeeze them, clap them. Just whatever you can do to get that energy moving in the palms of your hands. And then place the hands together. Now begin to sense the energy in the palms of the hands. The left and the right. And they're holding awareness. If you close your eyes, you're probably going to have a better time connecting into this energy. Relax your tummy, drop your shoulders, relax your whole body, and only focus on what it feels like in the palms of your hands. Imagine that one palm is speaking to the other. Imagine your hands together like two magnets, strong and powerful, snapping each other back together. With that sense of this being a magnetic attraction, a magnetic force field, we open up our heart, which amplifies the magnetic force field. Electro is the mind, magnetic is the heart. We amplify our electromagnetic field. Use your mind and begin to create an image. Seek within that little filing system up there some image that absolutely thrilled and delighted your heart in such an expansive way. Pull in that picture. Got it? Then drop it into your heart and feel it in you. And when you feel this connection to absolute expansion of love, this is the field that we place around us now. Imagine yourself in a beautiful powder chrysalis of this light, this beautiful energy. And in this space, with our electromagnetic field illuminating in a high vibration of love and light, we are sending a signal towards our higher self, our divine guides, and the highest vibration of light and love. And we ask now that we can be held, and that through us we might be a portal through which we can bring healing to those who have gone before to clear this line. And as you feel the connection here at your heart, imagine it moves all the way down through your arms into the palms of your hands. It's a strong connecting energy. Feel how strong that connection is. Press your hands into each other as hard as you can. Keep holding it as hard as you can. And then gently relax. Drop your elbows, drop your shoulders. Breathe into it. And now so slowly begin to pull these hands apart. So slowly. As if you're pulling apart two magnets that love to be together. And begin to stretch out that magnetic field until you come to the awareness that you are holding a ball of energy, a beautiful energy ball within your hands. Press on its magnetic field and you'll feel a little bounce back. If you can't feel it, imagine it. Imagination is everything. Beautiful you. With that lovely energy now, imagine it radiating off the tips of your fingers like beautiful streams of magnetic light. Then draw your fingertips to your throat. And imagine you sending these beams of light to your throat as we begin to pull this story of depression right out of our field of awareness, over the back of your head, over your shoulders, and flick your fingers off. Take a deep breath in. We're going to do 9 sweeps, at least 9. Take a deep breath as you breathe in and pull it up over your face, over the back of your head. Breathe out with a deep, purposeful releasing of the breath. I release, let go, and eliminate. Flick it off through all time, through all fields, through all dimensions. I ask that I can hold the space now for those who went before me. With immense love, compassion, and kindness, I thank them for all the hardship that they felt and endured, suffered, and for all their ingenious ways that they found just to cope and just to manage, just to hang on to this dear life so that I could be here. And I'm so grateful to them. And I ask now that I can open my heart towards all their pain and all their hardship and beam this magnificent loving light energy towards them. I release all shame, blame, guilt, hate, fear. Release this now for you and for them. No condemnation, no hate, no if only stories, Everything is as it needed to be so that we would understand there are no mistakes at all. As painful as our human experience is, it is not a mistake. It is so massively contrasting so that we would so massively awaken. We do not awaken until we feel a really hard thump on our awareness. Let's release that need to be knocked to be aware. Release that now. I release that imprint, that desire to not learn until I've really felt myself upon the floor. Release and let go the energy of depression in my line, that sense of not being capable, not being able to help or hold or heal, the sense of helplessness, hopelessness that was felt by so many. I release this now through all time, through all fields, through all dimensions. For all those who are in my line that were as my ancestral trail as far back as it began. And for all those to come into the future and beyond. Imagine this like a beautiful circle, and we're bringing it to complete closure and sealing it up. Take a deep breath in now, put your hands together at your heart, and hold yourself here really still and quiet, centered. And imagine what it would be like if a beam of light, a radiant energy light, was able to go from your heart so filled with compassion and kindness all the way back through time, that you could stand in all the places, the pivotal moments of immense hardship, that you could stand with those who felt such huge depression, and that the light that you are shining through you would be a light that they would feel in their hearts, and that they would be able to continue so that you could be here. In the circle and in the quantum field, this is entirely possible. Go back in time and heal. Release the trauma imprints, the impact points. Bring soothing, healing, and kindness. Release love and unconditional love to it. Bring in an energy into your heart of immense gratitude for all that they endured, so that we would know. I know very well what I would choose now, because of what it is that they went through. It is not in vain. What they felt and perceived is of immense value to me and to the line and to all humanity. I see the value in it, and therefore it is of value to me. In the stillness, we ask the whole body to recreate. On a cellular level, mind, body, soul, this whole beautiful being recreates itself. What energy would you hold now if you knew that this would be the new imprint, the imprint that would take you forward? What would you hold? Just think about that. What would you hold now? If we knew that this energy could heal all the trauma points through all time, backwards and forwards, in this quantum compassionate field, what would you hold? And hold it. Beautiful you. We're going to go directly into the healing codes now, my treasures. I will put that little healing prayer on and we'll do it together. Remember that this beautiful energy that you're holding, we're going to direct it here first to the third eye, imagining long streams of this divine healing light penetrating right through the third eye to the pineal chakra, right in the middle of the brain. We just radiate the energy there. Then we're going to bring it down here to our throat and radiate it right into the thyroid, into the throat. And then we're going to bring it here to the points in the jaw. Imagine it going straight up into the center of the pineal. And then we're going to bring it to the temples slightly above the ears and direct it straight back into the center of the brain. All these beautiful healing points coming together in one point, one place of clarity. Wonderful you. So let's get ready now. We activate our hands and we begin to hold the space once again. So now, with the streams of energy coming off the tips of your fingers, direct this energy from the tips of your fingers to your third eye, and we bring in the prayer. I pray that all known and unknown negative images, unhealthy beliefs, destructive cellular memories, and all physical issues related to the sense of depression would be found, opened, and healed by filling me with the light, life, and love of God. I also pray that the effectiveness of this healing be increased by 100 times or more. We feel this energy. We really thank the beautiful work of Dr. Alexander Lloyd for bringing us these healing codes. We take a breath now and drop here to your throat. Direct the energy, beautiful streams from the tips of your fingers into the throat. I pray that all known and unknown negative images, unhealthy beliefs, destructive cellular memories, and all physical issues related to the sense of depression would be found, opened, and healed by filling me with the light, life, and love of God. I also pray that the effectiveness of this healing be increased by 100 times or more. And take a breath and direct the energy into your jaw, all the way up towards the pineal in the center of the brain. I pray that all known and unknown negative images, unhealthy beliefs, destructive cellular memories, and all physical issues related to this energy code of depression would be found, opened, and healed by filling me with the light, life, and love of God. I also pray that the effectiveness of this healing be increased by 100 times or more. Beautiful. Take a breath to the temples, slightly towards the top of the ears, and direct it right through to the pineal chakra. Relax your body. I pray that all known and unknown negative images, unhealthy beliefs, destructive cellular memories, and all physical issues related to this energy cord of depression would be found, opened, and healed by filling me with the light, life, and love of God. I also pray that the effectiveness of this healing be increased by 100 times or more. Beautiful you. Take a breath, bring your hands at your heart together and rest there. And feel your body becoming very, very still now. Just relax, let your entire being recreate, reconstitute. Hold your energy here, my treasures. Just breathe, just relax, trust. It is always the intention to bring in the greatest healing for all life. May your heart and this journey be towards that. May you be inspired, and may you begin to play in the recoding of your sensory system towards the energy and the idea of thriving. May this truly be a delightful adventure for you as you begin to recode your entire system. So much love to you, my treasures. Thank you for holding the space and the work that you're doing in your line. Let me know how you're doing. Send me some information. It's always lovely to hear how you're all doing. And remember that we have a hidden Facebook page that you can also be part of if you wish to share or ask questions. All right, lovely ones. So much love to you. Take care of you. Be well. And we'll meet again next week. Thank you for you. Namaste. Thank you, my treasures. Beautiful you. Well done. Those who would love to stay now just for another few minutes, I'm going to just for 3 minutes play these beautiful tone therapy, and then I will click us off at the end of that. It might be a little loud on your side, so monitor that.